And it's the average hockey fan here once again, and a very big win for Montreal last night. I'm not calling this a statement win. Habs fans need to recognize this is Detroit. Montreal has won 8 over Detroit, 8 in a row over Detroit in the past however many years, 3 or 4 years, and they've beaten them big time in some of those games. They beat, with the team they had last year, the horrible team they had last year, they beat Detroit 10-1. They've beat them already 7-3 this year, and now they've beat them again 8-1. And this is 8 in a row for the Habs over Detroit, so I can't call it a statement win. It is a big win, but Habs fans need to realize that Montreal always matches up very well against Detroit, and Jimmy Howard, his worst nightmare is playing the Montreal Canadiens. It really, really, really is. He plays so bad against Montreal. I've watched him play against Montreal over the past 5 or 6 years. Howard is a great goalie. He's won a Stanley Cup before, but he has no answer for the Montreal Canadiens. And what a game. Max Domi with 5 points, Jonathan Drouin with 4 points, Andrew Shaw with his first career hat-trick, Galley had a goal, Armia was on the board, Kakaniemi had a point, Price had a solid game. Beautiful game for the Habs. This is the type of win you want. It's not a statement win because it's not over a big team, but it's the type of win you want. It gives you so much confidence, and they really, really, really need it. Pittsburgh and Carolina won again last night. They both have a game in hand on Montreal. Pittsburgh is, I believe, tied with Montreal points-wise. Columbus is now one out of the wild card spot, so it's down between Montreal, Carolina, and Columbus. So I do not see Montreal being better than Columbus by no means, especially what they've done. But they are a better team than Carolina, and I truly believe that. I believe Carolina had a bad injury last night to one of their players too. I was watching SportsCenter and I seen one of their players go off the ice. Aho, if I'm not mistaken. But don't hold me to that. That's just what I seen when I was watching the highlights of that Carolina game on SportsCenter. Anyways, Montreal had 34 shots. The score was 8-1 for Montreal. They scored 8 goals and 34 shots. The hits were 24 for Montreal. Their face-off percentage was 65.1. Once again, this is 2 games in a row now. They didn't have a power play, so they're not drawing penalties. Actually, I don't know if it was last game they didn't have a power play or a power play before, but one of the last 2 games they never had a power play in, and this game again they never had a power play in. Their penalty kill was 5 for 5. Excellent penalty kill again. Last time it was 4 for 4. This time it was 5 for 5. Their price was .960 save percentage, and he stopped 28 of 29 shots. As for New Jersey, they had 29 shots. They had 1 goal on those 29 shots, 11 hits, 34.9% face-off, obviously 0 for 5 on the power play, and 0 for 0 on the penalty kill. They didn't have to kill any penalties. If they did, they probably would get murdered. This would have been the night for the Habs to get power play goals. If they wanted to bolster their power play, this would have been the team to do it against because they just seemed lost out there. They really, really did not look good against Montreal. It looked like Montreal was playing against a team that came to play an exhibition game, which was what I was expecting in the New Jersey game. So I guess the Habs laced up their work boots and came to work for this one because they really, really needed to. Anyways, super exciting game. And in the first period, the score opens at 6:16. Thomas Tatar makes a beautiful individual play. I believe Ben tipped it into him, and he fought his way up the ice with a player draped all over him at the very last second. Howard went for the poke check. Tatar reaches his hand over I believe it was wrist shots it over Howard's shoulder and in with a player draped all over him. Beautiful individual play, and Thomas Tatar scores against his former club, the Detroit Red Wings, and Jordy Ben had an assist. Jordy Ben had a really good night tonight. The defense had a really good night tonight. I really, really liked the way the defense played tonight. Jordy Ben made some really nice plays, getting it out of his zone, kicking it off his skate. Petrie made a beautiful play to where he kicked it off his skate to which ended up leading to a rush, which led to a goal. Now, after that, nothing else happened in the first period. Second period, 2:22 into the second period, and the scoring was a lot in the second period. This is where the Habs took the game over. It was over by the third. Second period, Shaw comes down the ice. He gets a nice pass from Domi, from Drouin. Beautiful feed. Shaw scores his first of the game. First of 3 of the game. The next goal after that, 11:19, a little bit farther into the second period. This is when they all started bunching up after this, though. Excuse me, I dropped my sheet there. This is when they all started bunching up after this. Galley comes down the ice with Deneau and Petrie. It's a beautiful play by Petrie on the other end. He's up against the boards. He kicks the puck over to Deneau. Deneau gets the puck on a stick, rushes up the ice, passes it over to Galley. It's a 2-on-1, Galley on the defender. I think it's a 3-on-2 actually, but Galley's over on the right side of the ice. He just comes in, he gets to about almost the face-off dot, and he makes a beautiful, at the top of the face-off circle, actually, he gets to the top of the face-off circle, and he makes a beautiful wrist shot. The no slides across the screen, the goalie in front. Boom. Another goal for Galley. Clean wrist shot. Nobody touched it on the way in. So it's Galley's 27th of the year. Assisted by Deneau and Petrie. And Petrie got a huge assist on that because he created that play by kicking that puck out in the zone. Next after that, Domi was flying this game. He was all over the ice. It was Domi's best game of the year as a Hab by far. Domi and Drouin fly up the ice. The Domi-Drouin shot line tonight is on fire. What a combo. They're looking like they were earlier in the season. Andrew Shaw is a super underrated Hab. He was a guy last year coming into this season. I wanted to see him get traded. I had no faith in him. I thought he made too many dumb plays. There was goaltender interference calls that he had that cost us goals. He went offsides a couple times. I just didn't think he could skate with the team like he is this year. He was a guy who I wanted to see get traded, and God, am I ever glad he didn't get traded because he brings so much to this team. He's an agitator. He goes to the problem areas in front of the net. He can shoot. He can produce offensively. He can play both ways. You can slot him on any line, and he's effective. He does so much. He's the type of guy you love to play, you love to have on your team, and you hate to see play against. After that, Domi gets a goal from Drouin at 13:48. I'm not sure if I said that, guys. But anyways, after that, beautiful play by Barron to get the puck over to Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi brings it past the blue line, and then this shows how good this kid is. This kid's staring at the net. Everybody, including myself, the commentators, everybody on the ice, thought for sure he was shooting it. He was staring right at the net. He was lining his stick up like he was about to shoot. He was looking at the traffic. And before anybody knows what even hit him, he got that puck over to Armia without even looking at him. No look pass, wide open cage. Wide open 6x4 for Armia. Beautiful, beautiful play. What can I say to that? That kid has amazing hands, and he is showing he's an absolute stud. Anyways, after that, 18-16 into the period, Detroit gets on the board. Nice little pass from Green and flip. Hornet gets it over to Green. Green gets it over to Mathen. Nice little pass. Nice slap shot. Comes in. Beats Price. I believe there was traffic in front of the net. Nice goal for Detroit. Yeah, a little bit of hope. Their fans looked like they were getting really into it after they scored that one goal. After they scored that one goal, they panned over to the one fan that was super excited. The one girl standing up, going like that, shaking her hands at the Habs, giving them the gears. And literally, right after that, 19-17, only a minute and 1 second later, Shaw's flying on the ice. He comes in. Domi takes a shot. Shaw standing in front of the net. Tip-in goal for Shaw. His second of the night. And the third period, this is where Shaw gets his hat trick, and the Habs really, really solidify that they already won the game in the third period, but they just put the icing on the cake. Domi comes down the ice. Domi, Drouin, Folin playing his first game as a Hab gets an assist on this. Domi and Drouin. Drouin makes a beautiful play over to Domi. Domi's flying down the left side of the ice, comes in clean, wrist shot, bang, beats the goalie. By this time, Bernier's in net. Howard was pulled after the fifth goal. By this time, Bernier's in net. And Drouin got an assist. And Christian Folin gets his first point as a Habs. He had a good, solid night tonight. He made a couple of nice plays for sure. And he looked like he had a fair bit of speed. Kind of reminds me of Riley a bit. I'm not sure how much different he is than Riley, but he made good defensive decisions. But you can't really judge this against Detroit, because Detroit is a terrible team. At least against Montreal, they're a terrible team. So you can't really base what Folin did tonight against Detroit. I would like to see him play against New York, play against a couple tougher teams, then we'll see. And after that, Shaw gets his hat trick. The puck's in the zone. Domi gets a turnover in the zone. He flicks it over to Drouin. Drouin could have took the shot, could have tried to get a goal, but instead he immediately passes the shot, recognizing Shaw wants that hat trick, his first career hat trick. Shaw gets the puck, slides it across the front of the goalie's pads, tucks it right in under Bernier. Beautiful goal for Shaw. Smart decision. Instead of just getting the puck in front of the net and trying to jam it in under his pads or trying to tip it in, when the puck comes in to Shaw, he turns with it and puts it right around Bernier's pad for a beautiful Andrew Shaw type goal. Smart thinking in front of the net. He didn't bang into the goalie or hit him with his elbow or slide his skate into his pad like he would have done last year or earlier in the season. He's much more disciplined in front of the net. I'm assuming that's why he was a healthy scratch at a couple points, because Julien seen he was taking stupid, undisciplined penalties. He was getting too into the physicalness of it, and he was driving goalies crazy, and he was costing the team. Twice this year, earlier in the season, Victor Mete's first NHL goal was turned back because Andrew Shaw interfered with the goalie. And another big goal, Habs were going to tie up the game. They scored a game-time goal, and Andrew Shaw interfered with the goalie. Both times were clear goal interference, and he didn't need to do it in either case. I felt so bad for Mete because he beat the goalie clean on his shot, and Shaw elbowed the goalie in the head as the puck was going in, but the puck still would have went in, but it was goaltender interference. So Mete technically did have an NHL goal, but it got turned back on an Andrew Shaw goaltender interference play. those are some of the reasons why I didn't like him early in the season and coming into the season why I thought I wanted him to get traded. But I'm so glad it didn't. He's a super underrated Hab. I'm absolutely pumped for him. My prediction was 6-1 earlier in the game. I was pretty close. They won 8-1. I'm still I got Detroit's total right on, didn't I? I'm so happy they won this game. They're playing against New York. I believe if it's not tomorrow night, the night after, but I believe it is tomorrow night. And they really need this win against New York because Carolina is playing a weaker team and Pittsburgh is playing a weaker team. At some point, Pittsburgh and Montreal meet. I think it's 3 or 4 games on the road. Pittsburgh and Montreal meeting. But Carolina's schedule is looking pretty good. I believe they're playing LA next. If they didn't play, it could have been LA to play tonight, but the next team they're playing isn't a tough team. Carolina's looking like they got a bit of an easier schedule than Montreal from what I've looked at. A couple people told me they had a tough schedule ahead. I've looked at Carolina's schedule. It isn't very tough at all, and a lot of their games are home games. Most of Montreal's remaining games are road games. So yeah, big win for the Habs. I was super pumped. Sorry about the late recap. Sorry about the scruffy face, scruffy beard. I didn't have time to do anything, guys. I'm living in Newfoundland. The game ended at 12:05 Eastern. I had to get up 5:30 in the morning with my daughter to get her ready. So I had to go to bed after that game. I didn't have time to put together a proper recap, look over the highlights, and write my notes. So sorry about that. Didn't have time to shave, didn't have time to do anything. I got to head out the door as soon as I've done this recap. But I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the game. I'll be a bit more cleaned up for you guys next time. And not that you guys care. I'm sure many females don't watch this, except for the 1 or 2 that do comment. And I appreciate those comments. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned for upcoming videos. I can't drop any more trade news because there is going to be no more trade news, but anything that happens in Montreal, anybody getting recalled, sent down, lineup changes, games, reviews, recaps, my thoughts on players, there will be plenty more content to come, plenty more videos. Really appreciate the support, really appreciate the views and comments I've been getting. It's really been picking up a lot lately. I've been getting a bit of traction with it. I'm glad you guys like it. Feel free to leave a comment on the game. Tell me how you thought about the game. Tell me what you think about the videos. You guys have any ideas for a video I should make, feel free to let me know because I will make it if I have the time and if I feel it's properly suited to this channel. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Habs win. Woo! 8-1. They beat Detroit. Mr. Average Hockey Fan over and out once again, folks.